Brothers like West Ham Pressmen. You don't want to see the gang vex, man. Pull up in 2-litre dingers and press that.
Selling bag, going ham in West like Deccan Rice. Doing like popcorn, everything nice. Whoa.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Hammers Fans United. Welcome back to the Player Rating Show, and welcome back to the usual suspects, which is Davido, Kieran the mascot, and our dear friend Stuart from the disabled team. Unfortunately, he couldn't join him because he's actually sleeping. And you know, I'm going to try and not talk less. So, Davey, just how are you feeling? We'll move on to Kieran, and then we'll save the best till last. Davey, how are you feeling today? Without giving away too much.
Okay, generally, in regards to the game, disappointed, frustrated, somewhat annoyed, especially after, obviously we played them in the cup and did so well, but we knew we was facing a different animal today, and we saw it. But it is what it is. Let's see how we bounce back.
Yep. Kieran, you can repeat what you said about the timing of this show and why you think it was a good thing, if you want.
Yeah, because if we'd done this straight after that game, I think there'd be fucking words coming from everywhere going, gee, I was so annoyed. I was fuming because that weren't good enough all over the park, and I know certain players are really going to get picked out, and I'm going to pick them out as well, how bad they were. But all over the park, we were pretty poor. There was only a couple of guys that could probably say they've done all right. So, yeah, really disappointed.
And, last but not least, Stuart. And listen, you say how you feel genuinely. How do you feel after that performance and after that victory for Leeds United?
I never doubted him for a minute, brother Titch. I never doubted him.
You liar.
I did. I didn't see that result coming. I didn't see that performance coming with the injuries we had again. I genuinely thought it was going to be another scoreline like it was last week. And I thought it was going to be a bit more difficult, a bit more tougher. But I didn't see that performance coming. And that's the truth. Honest to God, I didn't see that performance coming. And I'm glad it has, because not because I voted bad about West Ham, but because we needed it.
Of course, you needed it.
And, especially with Norwich winning yesterday as well. We just needed that 3 points to keep that cushion between us and relegation.
Yeah,
I think that's that. I think it's a bit more of a relief than a buzzing. You know what I mean? It's a bit more of a relief than it is an happy thing.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to get to the comments and see who's in the house, and then we will get into this because obviously we've got right. West Ham Iron 21. Hello. And thank you for joining. And, as always, it's going to be interesting, especially after today's performance, to hear your ratings. West Ham 21. West Ham Irons 21, sorry. James Bong, thank you as always for tuning in. Good evening, always says. It's from James Bong. Good evening, always says.
Good evening, James. As always.
Right, Lawrence, my brother. Hello, everyone from Auburn, Alabama, USA. Come on, your eyes. Right, Lawrence, I'm interested to hear your scorings today, obviously. Luke, legend, Lady Luke, evening ladies. How you doing, Luke? Thanks for tuning in. Once again, interested to hear. I hope some Leeds fans come over from disabled team just to hear their sort of perspective as well. Our defence, I could have scored a hat-trick. We'll save this, for the thing, Lawrence. Well done, Leeds, but we were shocking. Right, so, we're going to get straight into this. All I would say is that, I don't know if Kieran or Davey agree with me, and it might give Stuart some sort of, insight into West Ham. I feel when we lose, generally we're poor. It's not like, it was a thrilling game and we was... no, I just think when we lose, if you think about Brentford, Southampton, Arsenal, Leeds, and this is not to discredit what Leeds done, because Leeds looked like the Leeds of last season, but I feel that when West Ham lose, we play badly. You understand? Like, it's not like, we could have won. Yeah, do you understand? So, Davey, do you agree with that, or have you got a different point of view?
We were poor. We were shocking all over the pitch.
I mean, generally, when we lose.
Yeah,
this season.
Well, I think, especially today's performance, I think it's funny because I heard Moyes come out and I heard his after game, his interview after the game, and he has to take responsibility. You know,
I didn't even watch that. Yeah.
Yeah, if he's gonna take all the plaudits that we're doing so well, and one result doesn't make it, but you know you're as good as your last result, and this is our last result, then he has to take responsibility. It's no point you complaining about the games, and you have players that you are not using. You're not just not using them, you're not resting anyone. Well, you have to take responsibility for that. He has to take responsibility for that, and it's clear to see by their performances that they need a rest.
All right.
So, having said
Kieran,
that,
I don't know if you heard what I said. I said, yeah, could have done. Kieran, I said, generally this season, when West Ham lose in the Premier League, we are poor. Arsenal, Brentford, Southampton, today. So would you agree that when we lose, we're just not at the races, and we're never in it when we lose. We're just we are the second best, or is that just me?
I think that's the truth. As much as I'm not taking any credit away from Leeds because I thought they deserved, they were the best team on the park and they deserved to win. But every time we have that, it's a bad performance, and it isn't just one player or two. It's 5, 6, 7 players that are not on their game, and whether that's a fatigue thing that gradually catches up with all the players at all the same time. As Davey said, because we're not resting anyone, we're just playing the same team week in, week out. Now, whether he's got any choices, again, go back to the bigger picture. We haven't got enough players, or have we? You know, I still can't believe what I said I was on the TDDs on the chat yesterday on his show, and I said Souček, and when we heard the lineup, Stu, you heard the lineup, put it up, and I went, oh God! And my first thing, Souček's not playing. Lanzini and Rice today weren't right. I knew it. I knew they were perfect against Norwich, but not against Leeds. Leeds flood the midfield too much. It's not going to work. And what was the point of this Crowell loan deal? How bad is he? How bad is he in training?
It's true.
He can never get. He'll never get a look in if he didn't yesterday. It was ideal to me to bring in Crowell, move Lanzini up the pitch, and drop Vlasic. Right, that would have been a better idea for me. You know, not that I'm wise. He's smarter than me apparently, but how bad is he? Because it didn't make sense. But we were fucking bad.
Right, so we will get into this, and listen, all the West Ham fans in here, if you want to rate the Leeds players, then do that. And I know Stuart knows our players, not as well as Leeds, but he does know our players, so he can. But I know it'll be harder for you, but right, Davey, just before we get started, Luke Legend said, is Davey going to give us a song? What's a sad song? Or an angry song?
I don't know.
It's a sad situation.
Yeah, who sings that? What is that song?
I don't know, but I know it. I'm used to it. I'm used to hearing it.
What about don't worry about a thing? Every little thing's going to be all right.
Right, here we go. Right, we'll get through Danny's comment. Thanks for joining, and then we'll get started. I thought it was Leeds' performance that made us look bad. I don't know, man. I've seen us lose a lot of games over the past 20 seasons. I don't remember ever being this angry after match. I'm absolutely fuming. That's coming from Danny Jackson. So I think he echoes what Kieran was thinking straight after the game. Right, so we're getting to it, right? And unfortunately, I can't put the Leeds players in there because, Streamer's limited. So I will just go with your goalkeeper. Is it Ilan Melier?
Yeah. Right. I know you scored 2 goals, and he couldn't do anything for them 2 goals. They weren't his fault. Yeah. But he did pull off a wonder save in last 10 minutes. It was a double save, even though it would have been ruled out for offside and stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Wonder save at the end of the game. I don't think you put us under enough pressure, if I'm honest. I don't think you put him under too much pressure. The corner count we kept low, like I wanted to see that we kept low. He didn't have to come out and, it were. I don't know how to describe it. He wasn't under as much pressure as I thought he was going to be under. Yeah. Definitely.
Exactly.
I better be on my best behaviour because she calls me mad if I get. Well, she calls Lee mad. She calls Lee mad if he gets his player ratings wrong. She didn't half lay into my poor boy over there. Wait till she hears mine. I better make sure that I give right ratings, and she's put me under pressure. She has. I'm going to say 7 out of 10 for Nestle.
7.
You know, Stuart, because I picked Melier to be the player to watch for Leeds in our preview, right? Because I thought he would have to pull off save after save to win a game or get something out of it. And we didn't put him under enough. He didn't have enough to do. I think he had 2 good saves in the whole match, really. He didn't have enough. There you go.
All right, so before we move on to Kieran and obviously our keeper, Harmony, thanks for joining. Can you send me the video of you streaking like you promised on WhatsApp? And how much money did you win? Did you place your bet? Because you did say 3-2 Leeds, and you gave us the odds of 40-1. I think that was Let me know what you won and what you bet on. Danny says,
please thank you.
What's that?
Please thank you. Put the bet on.
Yeah, exactly. Danny says, fair play to your boys, though, Stuart. Well played, and they deserve to win, which, yeah, they did. Right, so, Melier, the Leeds keeper, gets a 7 from Stuart. Now, and Harmony, you can give your rating for the Leeds players. Right, Kieran, let me put them on the screen, sorry. 1 second. Let's get to the West Ham ones. Like I said, I can't put the Leeds ones in because, and I don't do that screen share and stuff. Right, where are we? Here. Right, so, Kieran first and then Davey. Lucas Fabianski, what would you rate him out of 10 and why? Let me remove that.
Again, I go back to this Fabianski. I think he's been superb this season, but this is a game. He had 2 goals to make one of them saves. Maybe he should, and he didn't either. You know, not from the corner. The other 2 goals, he had a chance to block them and he didn't. I thought the first goal he could have been little bit because it weren't in the corner, that shot. He could have been, but I'm just being picky on it. What's frustrating about me is every time he got the fucking ball, he done his usual, run out to the edge and done nothing, and then waited. And then we were giving the ball to Diop or Dawson, and it ends up getting booted upfield, which is basically giving the ball away. I was just frustrated that he could not use the ball earlier. And we know this in his game, he doesn't really have it, or he's indecisive about throwing that ball, picking out someone. So, yeah. He didn't pull off any saves to get us anything. So, not that he done that much wrong. But I'll give him a 6.
6. Okay. Davey, Fabianski.
I mean, same as Kieran. I gave him a 6 in regards to his point. His score out of 10. We know that kicking is not his strong point. He seems to dwell on the ball. It's almost as if I don't get it, because if you rehearse, they train, so they obviously rehearse the stuff the way they want to play. So if we're going to play out from the back, then he should have options. Now, I think he's taken this long because he doesn't have enough options. So therefore, what are we doing? Are we playing long? Are we playing short? Are we playing out from the back? What I mean? What's the what are we playing? How are we playing the game? And then he dwells, and he nearly gets caught. Even today, I mean, I think it was one of the Leeds players got a yellow card for a late challenge on him, but he could have nipped the ball.
James.
Dan
James.
Yeah, Dan James. And in regards to your goals, I don't think he could have done anything about them. He saved us a few times. They were decent finishes, so I'll give him a 6 out of 10. But yeah, he is struggling with the ball at his feet.
All right, so I won't give any ratings, and that saves a bit of time. I'm gonna get through to Lawrence gave Fabianski a 5 out of 10. Danny Jackson gave Fab a 6, so he agrees with you too. Lawrence says he should have got the ball on the 3rd goal. Right, Harmony says £800 profit. I am in Shadwell near Cable Street, showing off my Hollywood Brazilian. £800 profit. Jeez. Well done to you, seriously. Definitely not Fab's fault, and James Bond gave him a 6 out of 10. Anybody that watching or anyone that joined, you can, catch up. Right, so we will move on to Stuart Dallas, the Leeds right back. What would you rate him today? Harmony and Stuart, obviously.
Well, normally Stuart's pretty. The one thing you can say about Stuart Dallas is he doesn't lose communication. He doesn't lose concentration. But he did for that goal from the corner. I think it was Bowen's header. He got away from Dallas. Dallas just that split second lack of concentration let him in. Now, other than that, I thought Dallas played well. I thought his energy were up there. Just that one mistake from him, which I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. I think that's what I'm going to give him.
I can hear you. 7.5.
So 7.5 out of 10. I mean, he was involved in Harrison's third goal, wasn't he, as well? He were involved in that. So yeah, 7.5. I'm going to give Stuart Dallas.
Okay, and Harmony gave Dallas an 8. Harmony, you can also add your Melier scoring, and then you would have caught up. And thanks for giving a Fabianski rating. Right, so onto our right back Kieran, and that is obviously Vladimir Soufal. What would his performance and his rating from you?
Ooh. I thought he was fucking horrendous. Right, and I'll tell you why. Right, this is why I've always said about when he plays. And Cresswell, we're a more attacking side, but we're more vulnerable. And Leeds figured that out, right? They figured that out because, as you remember, Soufal spent most of the time in Norwich's half the other day, but Norwich weren't flooding us with players to make that an issue. Today, Leeds were. When they broke, they had 4 or 5 players coming out. Soufal was caught out of position so many times. And 2 of the goals, he's 10 yards behind the guy who's scoring the goal. Right? 2 of them. He should be there. On the bloody corner, I don't know what he's doing. Davey, you know more than that. When we used to take corners and that, when we stopped putting people on the line, when that corner come in, everyone would push up and be in a line. In case there's a flick on, everyone's offside then. Anyone that goes past that line is going to be offside. And most flick-ons then usually go out for a goal kick. Soufal and Cresswell, Soufal was worse. He was 2 yards, he wasn't even on the line. So I don't know what he was doing there. So the flick-on was automatically onside. And the boy just, kneaded in. I thought he was absolutely terrible. I don't think he delivered a decent cross. He lost the ball a lot. So I thought all of his position in the whole game. What annoys me about it is we should have learned. When after they scored the first, had a couple more chances. He was nowhere. We should have learned from it, and we didn't. And they still done it on their third goal. I think he was found wanting when they scored their goal that was disallowed. So I'm going to give him a 4.
I knew he was going to say 4. I knew after that. I knew a 4 was coming. Right, so we'll get to Davey and then we'll get to the comments. But big up Cyber Leader. Thank you for joining. It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
Not too far off. What Kieran said, he wasn't that good today so far. I mean, the whole team wasn't that good, to be fair. He tried to get forward. This is the thing is, we know that if most teams now play with attacking fullbacks, right? So we know if the fullbacks go forward and then the ball doesn't stick when it goes forward, then they look like they're just running forward randomly and then they get exposed. They play in the space that they leave behind. And it's a problem from the team, obviously. And that happened too many times with us. I don't think Soufal is to blame for that. We'll probably touch on that a bit more. I'll touch on that a bit more later. But I gave him a 5. I gave Soufal a 5. So, yeah, it wasn't one of his better games.
Okay, right. Let me get to the comments. Lawrence gave Soufal 5.5. Cyber Leader gave Fabianski 7.5, but he said, I think he wants Areola to start the next game. You can catch up with the other players as well. No, it's just Soufal so far as well. Cyber. James Bond gave Soufal a 6. Danny Jackson gave Soufal a 6. Right, so I think this is going to get even more criticism when we get to our. But anyway, we'll start with Leeds' right centre back according to this, and that was Luke Ayling, Stuart and Harmony.
He provided a good ball over top for Rafinha to latch on before we scored his opening goal. He chased down well. He did give the ball away for one of West Ham's goals. I think it was your second goal.
Second one, yeah.
He tried playing it out at back, and he played it straight to one of your players, and then he just went through and scored. But other than that, he were all over pitch. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Oh, and now look, Harmony is she gets at you for giving low ratings. Right, I've said that. So Cyber's caught up. He gave him a 5 for Soufal. Harmony gave Ayling a 5.
Wow.
Right, so right, Kieran. Let me put him on the screen. Sorry, I didn't even put Soufal up. My bad. Too late. Right, let's go to where is he? Didn't even put him up. Oh well. Right, here we go. Craig Dawson, Kieran.
I think it's quite obvious that Dawson and Diop, right, are just not a good pairing. It's quite obvious. And this is where we kept losing that ball in the midfield. And what Davey's touching on there, it weren't always Soufal's fault that he was getting caught. Because they kept losing the fucking ball in there. And what was happening...
Or giving away throws.
Yeah. And they were pushing the ball down the line. And Dawson and Diop were exposed. They had to deal with it. And Dawson done his usual. He battled here and there. He missed an absolute sitter of a header.
Yep.
Absolute sitter. There's no reason not to score that. No one in front of him. The keeper's stranded in the middle of the goal. He had the whole corner to aim off. And a 50-pence shaped head. He headed it fucking wide. And so yeah, I'll give him a 5.
5. But yeah, you're right. And that goal, because I was driving back from football, so I was watching it in the car, and I said to the boys in the car, I said, he's got to score that, man. Like, at least hit the target. But yeah, it was poor. Davey Dawson. I'm not calling you Davey Dawson, but yeah.
I think as a whole, the backline didn't have a good game today. And Dawson, we know that obviously he has limitations. One of them being in possession of the ball. One of the good things, as you said, was he's good in the air for set plays. I think the chance on another day he probably would have taken it. I don't know if Deccan Rice jumping in front of him just obscured his view for that few seconds that made him head the ball wide. He would normally take the chance like that, wouldn't he? He didn't have the best of games. He's not the best, as we suggested, with the ball at his feet. I gave him a 5 as well, like Kieran. And I agree with Kieran. I don't think him and Diop are a good partnership. Diop, as much as I like him, he's becoming a liability to the team, man. We'll touch on him a bit more later, but from what I saw today, it was terrible. Mm-hmm. But I gave Dawson a 5. Okay,
right. I think we've only got one comment here. Come on, man. One sec. Right, so it will be this one. 6 up and down all day. Is that that's for Dawson? Sorry, it has to be. Anybody else for Dawson? Because we will move, swiftly on. And maybe StreamYard is just because it keeps freezing on my screen, so I don't know whether that's the problem. But yeah, you can catch up, you lot. So we're not just right. So we will move on to. You can catch up and put your whatever. We'll move on to Pascal Struijk, if I've pronounced that right. That is Leeds' is left centre back, according to this. So, Stuart.
Well, I thought he's just come back from his injury and stuff. He's just come back into the team. I thought he might have been a bit rusty, but I thought he handled Antonio very well all game. I don't think he put a foot wrong, didn't Pascal? One of his better centre backs. I'm going to say 8 out of 10 for Pascal. I'm going to say 8 out of 10 for Pascal.
I think he done well.
I thought he did well all game.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Kieran. Issa Diop.
I think any hope I had of Diop coming good just went out the window with that game. I thought he was horrendous. I thought he was terrible. He never looked comfortable on the ball. He got squared up and passed too easily for one of the goals. He was just woeful, man. The corner, I don't know where he is in that corner. The boy just got the flick on header just in front. He just didn't jump with him, didn't compete. No, God. Even when you see him with the ball at his feet, he just seems to flap about with his feet as if he's just not comfortable with the ball at his feet. He looked so awkward. He pushed the ball up a couple of times. He came through the midfield. It looked good. and then he didn't know what to do with it. He couldn't make a pass. He was just, what do I do now? Oh man. Defensively, him and Dawson were just so poor together. They're exposing us all the time, and I'm gonna give him a. No, I'm gonna give him what he deserves for that game because it was fucking rubbish. A 3. Shite.
I knew that was. I thought it was coming actually. 3 or 4.
It was 4.
Before Davey goes, I'm gonna just I'm gonna bang the same drum after Davey about the centre back issue. But yeah, Davey, what about Issa Diop for you?
Issa Diop, poor, really poor. I gave him a 4. I'll tell you that straight away. I gave him a 4. He's too rash, isn't it? He just dives in. I mean, he's playing against world-class players, and generally, if you're playing against skillful players, you try to draw the trick out of them. So you fake to tackle, try to draw the trick out of them. Then it gives you half a chance of nicking the ball and just poking it away, like. But he just dives in from like it's easy to see. I mean, I'm 57. I could dribble around him. I could dribble around him, and he just dives in and he just moves the ball and then passes it. So he was really poor today. But some of the things he did, or some of the things he's passing into like Antonio a lot of the times, it's like he's saying like show. He passes into Antonio, the ball doesn't stick. The second, it's almost like they're not on the. At least today, we're not on the same. We wasn't on the same way. The players.
Well, Vlasic as well, David, didn't he? He gave that ball to Vlasic, who had all the time in the world midfield, lost it, and then they scored.
They scored from it. That's right.
That wouldn't be on fault. Yeah. He done it with Antonio, who got beat to the ball, and I think they scored again.
Yeah.
Or the
right, Kieran.
So there was a lot to do. They didn't make him look any better. Let's put it that way. The boys that should be receiving that ball, they didn't make him look any better.
Right. Before we get to the comments, I would say, listen, and I've said this, and I'm going to say it. This will probably be the last time, right? And today, as good reason to say it. The amount of disrespect across the channels and from individuals. It wasn't one person. There was a lot of disrespect as to. Ogbona's absence. Like it's not a big deal. And obviously, Kieran was on the exact same page. I was looking forward and thinking, right, at the minute we've got Zuma, no problem, but then we've got to have Dawson or Diop to pair him, and we know that Diop generally plays as a left centre back, right? So obviously, it didn't take a brain scientist or a rocket scientist to realise there's going to be problems for us, right? Now. The people that come on these channels and speak for hours and hours and hours and they could not acknowledge what Ogbonna brings to our team. You should hang your head in shame. And I genuinely, I'm not trying to cause I mean that, because I just thought that was the ultimate disrespect. And maybe you don't know your stuff because, like I said, Ogbonna is just as important to us as Deccan Rice, just as important to us as Jared Bowen in the form that Bowen's in. And when we lost him, a lot of people was like, nah, no problem. That was a lot of people, and I felt a way about that. Like, genuinely felt a way. I thought, the disrespect you want to show this man. If it was Declan Rice, then everyone would be up in arms. But for Ogbonna, it's no problem. Anyway, let's get to the comments. Sorry. Come on. Sorry, you lot. Right, so 1 minute. Right, Harmony said Stroik gets a 9. James Bong says, actually, it was Rice missing header that probably put Dawson off, but he was one of our better players today. 7. I don't know if that might be for Dawson. Yeah, it should be for Dawson. I think, yeah. Right. Danny Jackson says Diop was atrocious. I'll give him a 4. Richard, thank you for joining. Richard Wharton says Fabianski 3. Right. Lawrence said Diop 2 for Diop. Take his shirt so he can't go on the pitch. After performance like today, it's very hard to, defend. James Bong, Diop, 5.5. Richard Wharton says Dawson a 2. Cyber Leader says Diop a 1. Diop gets a 1 from Richard as well. Soufal gets a 2. from Richard. Cyber gave. Oh, Diop can go to Newcastle. And all these clubs be rubbing their hands together, knowing that. Come on, mate. Based off of that, 10 mil makes sense. Creswell gets a 2. Okay, Richard's just given them already. Rice gets a 5. Lanzini gets a 5. Right. Okay, these are getting ahead of Rice. Got a 6. Sorry, you lot. Let's get through these. No problem. Cyber gives Antonio a 5. Richard gives Vlasic a 2. Richard gives Antonio a 4. And Richard gives Bowen a 5. Right, thank you, Richard. Okay, so let's move on to. Sorry, Stuart. I know you've been waiting a long time.
Hey, don't worry about me. It's good to hear about other players. It's good to learn.
Right, this might be a hard one for you because he came. Oh no, he came off second half. No, he didn't. He came off after 23 minutes. But Junior Firpo, left back. What would you rate him for his short time on the pitch, if you can?
Well, what I didn't want to see was someone running past him and him throwing his arms around and letting play a go. But I didn't see that. So for that, I'm going to mark him anyway. I thought, Firpo, he frustrates the life out of me. You don't know what Firpo you're going to get. You really don't. You don't know if you're going to get the Firpo where he's supposed to be the Barcelona Firpo, or the Firpo where he's supposed to be the Atletico Bilbao Firpo. And I'm going to give him. I can't give him any more than a 5 because he wasn't on one enough.
Yep. So 23 minutes. And what I would say is though, in those first 25, 30, you was all and he obviously played a part in that. And I knew goal was coming. I said in the car they're going to score because you lot was literally all over us. Right. So thanks for that, Stuart. Let's get to Aaron Cres. Right. Let me put him up, Kieran. One sec. Hold on.
Has he gone missing again?
Well, it's not my internet this time.
Is he frozen up?
Yeah, looks like it.
Right. All right, boys, let's forget this rating shit. Let's get into something else. What do you want to talk about?
Right, can I ask you a question? But before we go any further, right, about West Ham.
Yeah.
Right, Vlasic. I watched the show. I'm not going to say which show it was because it'll be unfair. But I watched the show, and all of a sudden, I mean, I thought it was coming on. You know what I mean? I thought Vlasic were coming on. Over the last few games, it's been getting better and better. And all of a sudden, because of this game, he's that. He's been X, he's everything that. And is he really that bad, or is it a case of just people overreacting because he got pulled off?
Ooh, what do you reckon, Davey? I reckon he had one decent game against Hughes in the cup, but the last 2 games and yesterday, he was disappointing.
Right.
Are we still on Creswell, you lot? Because my thing just
Yeah, we saw you.
We're talking about the weather, mate.
Davey, have you gone, Kieran?
No, I was waiting for you to come back.
Oh, okay. Here we go then. Creswell. Sorry, you lot. I don't know what the hell was going on there.
Crazy. All right. Look, he's probably one few players that weren't terrible. He got caught out a couple of times with the pace of Rafinha there, which is understandable. We know he's not quick. But his deliveries again, mate. He put one bang on Dawson's head, didn't he? He put one bang on Bowen's head. His deliveries were superb coming into the box. So it gives us that. It's all about them heading them in the net, really. So I think he done okay. In a team that was struggling all over the park, I think he held his own on his side of things. So, but still, I think a solid 6. Maybe 6. 6.1.
6. All right, 6.5 for Creswell. Davey, what about you?
Yeah, I gave him the same. I gave him a 6. Well, Creswell did all right. He's up against a very good performer in Rafinha. I can't remember him doing anything detrimental to West Ham to concede for the 3 goals that we conceded over. So yeah, I think he did an average game. We know he's good in possession. He's a good set piece provider in crosses, from corners, free kicks, and in general. So yeah, good performance or average performance. So I gave him a 6.
All right. And yeah, apologies for that cutting out whatever that was. Right, because let's get through these comments and then get back here. I think it was all right. Maybe I think we might have read this, but we'll get through them. 6 for Rice from Cyber, 5 for Antonio, Vlasic. No, we've done all this. Sorry. Right, this is the one. Right, so Yarmolenko gets a 3 from Richard. Perkins gets a 1. 1 sec. And then we'll move on. Moyes gets a 0 from Richard. Hermione says Firpo gets an 8.
Because she's a fair
Creswell.
That's the reason why.
Yeah. Creswell 5.7 bad on defence from Lawrence. Super big up TD5. Thank you for joining, and yeah, get involved with the Leeds player ratings, please. TD5. James Bond gave Creswell 6. People use Vlasic as an excuse. Good hustle. He did screw up the pass for the 3rd goal. That's from Lawrence. 8 for Cres. Easily our best player today from Danny Jackson. And Lingard and Tarkovsky and left back and a striker, please. Diver and Dave. I don't know why we haven't signed anybody. That's crazy. Not surprised. Right, so we will move on to Leeds and defensive midfielder. He's got a funny name, Robin Koch. When someone might mistake that for Robin Koch, but yeah, Robin Koch from Leeds. How would you rate it?
I thought it was solid. Normally, he's a player. I'll be honest with you. Normally, with Robin Koch, he's a player where I always give him a bad mark. But I thought it was solid this time round. He did get caught out of position 1 or 2 times, like he always does. But that's just him. It's just the way he is. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10, yeah?
I thought we were all right today, yeah.
All right, so, because Leeds is playing obviously a different formation for us, so I will go with...
Wasn't it his goal that was disallowed?
No, it's Klitsch that was disallowed.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Klitsch. It was Klitsch, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Klitsch's goal, yeah.
All right, so we will go to... Let's go, Kieran, we'll go Deccan Rice. Oh, let me get him up.
Well, yeah, Mr. fucking Rice. Yeah, look, he didn't. Look, I think he was that bright spark. I think he was the guy that was most likely to get us a point out of the game. He was. I think we relied on him too much. He was punching out of defence. He was coming through. He was dribbling. He was making interceptions. He was getting that ball up front. He was getting into the box. He was trying to make things happen. Because I think every time he seems to have a game like it, it's because all around him are not. And he seems to think, I need to do it because they are not. And like I said, I didn't want Lanzini and Rice together, and I don't think it worked today. And especially now, when you're relying on Rice to punch you up the pitch, now what have you got as a defensive midfield now?
Exactly.
You haven't got some shit. You've got nothing. And when they did break loose the ball, they came in numbers. We were exposed. But I just think he took it on his shoulders that we're getting nothing out of this game if I don't make something happen.
Sure. And
so I think it weren't a bad performance from Rice. I just think it was a bad system he was in. So I'm going to give him a solid 7.
Okay. And I would say that, without giving a rating, I think Rice, he can walk off that pitch with, he can hold his head up where he did actually put in a good performance. And last week against Leeds, I said, not his best. This week, we've lost and, we was poor, but I think he had a decent and good game, actually. Davey, Deccan Rice, please.
Deccan Rice, yeah, I agree. I agree. He's one of the West Ham players that can walk off the pitch with his he's constantly putting in performance after performance. He tries to drive the team on rather. The combination between him and Lanzini is not right in games like this, as we saw. He missed Souček. The team missed Souček, to be fair. And, we've got Kraus sitting on the bench. I don't understand that. Kieran made a point of it earlier on. I don't understand why he's got to put somebody else in instead of Lanzini, a more defensive-minded midfielder. And then that, because Rice he'll try and get forward, he'll do the doggies, he'll intercept, he will nick in and get tackled there and there. Lanzini will not win the ball back. You see what Lanzini does when he loses the ball? He gets frustrated, he just whacks out at players and gets a card. You know, so if you're going to play two and we don't control the tempo of the game, which we're struggling to do, then make a change, bring on somebody else. It's like we've got nowhere else to bring on. It's that or nothing. I think I stand corrected, but Solchik was unavailable, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's unavailable.
Yeah, so we missed.
Yeah, he was unavailable. Yeah, he was. No, you couldn't play him. I was just disappointed that he was unavailable.
Yeah.
And we missed him. We missed him big time. But you know, we've said before. I'm pretty sure we've had this debate already, and that we need another midfield player or two. You know, if he's not going to use Crowd, then we need somebody else to bring in.
Yeah.
So what are you giving Rice, Davey?
Oh, sorry, I gave Rice a 7. I mean, what I would say is this: if you look at the two, because it's funny, I saw was it Lawrence? Who was it that said Richard? Was it Richard that said Moyes 1, or was it?
Yeah,
was it 1 Moyes. But
0 they gave him,
right?
I think.
Bielsa will use the younger players. If he hasn't got players available, his main players available, he just goes to the younger players. I mean, we saw today he put on a player for 23 minutes, took him off, but he will use them.
Yeah.
I don't understand that about Moyes. Use your players. If you're going to say, yes, we've got some good young players coming in, he's invested in some, we've got some there, play them. Sometimes your hands are forced, isn't it? Your hand, injuries, etc., forces your hand, and you're going to say, well, what are you going to do? Keep playing Rice and Souček until what? They break down.
Yeah.
You have to make a change. And that's what, that's the only thing I don't get the point. I don't understand that.
Before I get to the comments.
Do you know, it was really annoying me yesterday when them pricks fucking Arsenal pulled the other game off, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They pulled another fast one, right? They pulled, because they got the Carabao semi-final on Wednesday. Said, right, let's have a rest, and then we'll get to the final of Carabao Cup. Right, and there's Leeds, right? There's Leeds with a 15-year-old on the bench, and they're still going for it.
Exactly.
Fuck you, Arsenal, and fuck all you big clubs taking a piss out of this COVID
It's true.
bullshit.
It's
We're
true.
all using it. We're all using it. And a fucking good fair play to Leeds and fair play to West Ham. We've never pulled it.
Exactly.
But fair play to Leeds. Having to put a 15-year-old on the bench. And then to get 2 injuries in the first half. Another 2 down. And they brought on that young 2 teenagers come on, and they just got on with it. And I thought that young lad done well when he came on. I thought it was a shame that they took him off later in the game. I thought the young lad done well. So yeah, bollocks to Arsenal and all them other pricks are taking the piss.
It's true. Right, so I did say this on a stream with Kieran before for a different game, and I'm going to ask Davey and Kieran, and then I will get to the comments. Right? He's never been spoken about of playing there, but from what I've seen in his qualities, do you not feel that we could have played Ben Johnson alongside Deccan Rice in midfield today, and it would have worked better than what we had?
Possibly.
We could have done, but we don't know until that we try that. It probably would have been better than Lanzini being in there, you know? Lanzini's creator. You can't expect him to do all the... He tries, but he runs at it. He tries to do it, but he's not big enough, not strong enough. But Crown was the obvious replacement for me.
I don't know if he's on the bench. Let me check.
I just can't understand why that boy can never ever get a look in.
He was on the bench as well. Crow was actually on the bench, so yeah.
Was Crow on the bench?
He was on the bench, yeah. I just checked.
Yeah. Well, why is he so bad? There was no point in bringing him in. It's like a false sense of security. Oh, at least we got him as cover. For
exactly.
Right. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. I said that's a good move. Him on loan, but it's not because we haven't used it. I
think another option could be Fornells.
Yeah.
I think he's got a bit more bite, a bit more spite than Lanzini, and he'll do a lot more work than him. So he could, worst case scenario, you could bring him in there and play him in a more central role, you know, and maybe that might work. But it's all maybe, isn't it? So.
TD5 says every player gets a 10. I don't even care, and you know I can't argue with that. TD5. Yarmagol should have stood, says Cyber. Nah,
No.
Bowen was
No.
clearly offside.
Yeah,
Cyber. Yeah, he was well offside. Harmonies gave Koch a 9. 1 sec. Robin Koch 7. You said 10 for everyone. Right. Centre back and defensive midfielder. I knew Leeds like cock. We have to make some fun of this situation today. That's what I was getting at Nashi earlier. Time to bring on the Sullivan specials. TDC says Rice for Phillips. 8, hard working today. That's for Deccan Rice from Lawrence. I love Koch very much. Okay, Harmony. What's the point of having one of the best defensive midfielders in the world if he's not going to play the position? 4 for Rice is Danny Jackson. And, you know, Kieran did say, look, he's bombing forward and there's no one there behind him in that or that system. So, you know, there, it would have made sense for him. Yeah, anyway. JK. Rice was West Ham's player today, I think. That's from TD5. With Leeds United, we have a solid Koch. James Bond gave Rice a 7. 1 minute. Bring in the Sullivan specials ASAP. Bargain basements. And Novak is available. We missed Souček. If Souček was there, he would have scored. We definitely missed him. FU Arsenal. So Cybers agrees with you, Kieran. Yes, says Lawrence. And okay, we've got a couple more. Just a few more, and then we'll get to the next player. Right. Yeah, man. All the bigs are trying to have one Corona case. Fair play. West Ham and Norwich and teams like that are just getting on with it. Leeds, obviously, included. Agree, same as Villa. Remember when they played their under-23s with Liverpool? My take on a game today is we were well beaten by a team of bare bones. Yep. Carl had another bad headache. Right. So we will move on, Stuart, to 1 second. We'll go to Forshaw because he played limited time as well.
Well, he played a quarter at game, didn't he?
Yeah, he came off just before Firpo.
Went off with his hamstring, same time as Firpo. He were bright. He were, like I said, the thing with Forshaw is he's calm, cool, and collected with ball. And I think he did all right. And you know, I think he was popping off passes well. He had some good turn of pace about him. He had some good pace about him. Crucial layoff for Madison for his first goal as well. He was, So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10.
7 for Adam Forshaw.
Yep.
Okay, so Kieran, Manuel Lanzini today.
Yeah, to me, he's in the wrong position, as I've said before. Like, he tried. I'm not going to knock his effort, but he was just totally getting overrun by their midfield, and he shouldn't have been there. There were a couple of bright bits where he tried, threw balls through, but lost them. A lot of passes went wayward. Yeah, not really. Weren't his game, mate. Weren't his game at all. I don't think he done enough to make anything happen. And like I said, we're relying on him to be a wall in front of our Dawson and Diop, which is a hard job to have. So he didn't do anything special. No, not a great game. I'll give him a 5.5.
5.5 for Mr. Hammerett. Davey, Manuel Lanzini.
Yeah, I just think he struggled today in that with that style of play that Leeds plays. You know, the high press, high energy sort of. They get into him really quickly. He has to make quick decisions. He's not the physically wise statures. He's not the strongest person. Yeah, and they'll get into him really quickly. And if you can't offload the ball or get through that first press, then yeah, he's going to struggle. And that's where I think someone like Souček's, you know, a lot stronger. Rice is a lot stronger than him. They can get past. They can get past the press. Yeah, so I gave him a 5 out of 10 today for Lanzini. I don't think it's his fault. I think he's trying to play different positions to get in the side, and he's probably better further forward. He's played well for us in that position, to be fair, in a few games. Today wasn't one of them, so I'll give him a 5.
Right. Lawrence said hit that like, but I'm going to get to comments. But first of all, I'm going to put something on the screen for like 10 seconds, right? Just 1 minute, and then we'll get back to this. Starting on Tuesday evenings, 11:30 UK time, we will be introducing Born in the USA, featuring Larry and Wally. Now, it will be me plus one each week, and we'll just be catching up on, everything West Ham. But in between that, I'll be asking them some questions based off of, the USA. And then, each week or each fortnight, we'll see who picked up the most points. All fun and games, maybe 10 questions. But yeah, it just gives us an opportunity on this channel to, cater to Wally and Lawrence because of the time difference. So that will be coming Tuesdays, 11:30. If you can't watch it live, then obviously you can just tune in and, watch it when you're free, basically. But yeah, just getting, respected people onto the channel where possible. Right,
I'll do an Australian show if you're going to do an American show. I'll do an Australian show.
So you can be Kieran's...
Kieran on it and everyone on it, yeah. I'll have Kieran on my show.
As an Aussie.
There's my Aussie friend.
Right, I thought you were going to put on an Aussie accent.
I can't.
Right.
I can't even put on a Yorkshire accent. Never mind that.
Right, Forshaw gets a 7 from Harmony. I will catch up quickly. Cyber Leader, if Yarmolenko's goal should have stood like you said, glitches for Rodrigo as it should. No, I said his goal shouldn't have stood because Bowen was clearly offside. Cyber.
I think you're referring to somebody else's comment.
Oh.
Yeah.
But okay.
I would like to.
Right, so, yeah.
I would like to mention that goal that Leeds scored. Really. Common sense tells you that's a goal. That should have been.
I didn't see it. I was doing stuff. I didn't rewind it, so I didn't see it.
It was going in regardless. Technically, he's offside, right? There's no ifs, buts about it. But common sense tells me that should be given. It touched the boy, brushed past him as he was standing just in front of the line, like he was trying to get out of the way, and he was given offside.
So he got in nobody's way. He didn't block no one with the shot, and it was definitely going. Yeah, I didn't see it. I was watching. I was like,
he was trying to get out of the way, and it hit his hip and went in, and he had 1 foot, in the playing field on the goal, and they gave it offside. It should be a goal.
Right. By the sounds of it, it sounds like it should have stood. But like I said, I was kind of losing a bit of interest. I was thinking, nah. So I was in the kitchen watching it, and then when that went in, I'm like saying 4-0. Then that's it. I think I went to the sink, start washing up, and then so I didn't even see. Right, TD5 has given Forshaw a 6. Lawrence gave 5 for Lanzini, so he agrees with Davey and almost with Kieran. Kieran said 5.5. Right. Oh my days. Sorry, you lot. This jumps around, man. Hold on. I can see Happy Amaret's in the house. Thank you for joining. Right, Danny gave Mr. Hammerett a 6. Mr. Hammerett gets a 6 from James Bong as well. Agree, mate. I think that's right. Anyway, good luck. 1 second. Oh, he said Stuart, he hopes you beat whoever you got next. And so do I. I think it's Everton, is it? Oh no. Newcastle. Definitely hope you beat them. Seriously. I want them to go down. The money bags. Only Moyes would reposition a little Pearl instead of starting Crow on a bad hair day. That's from Richard. Big up, Happy Amaret. Thank you for joining. 1 second. Right. Harmony says he wasn't offside. It was handball. I think for Rodrigo, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it brushed his hand. Might have just brushed his hand.
They would have given him. They would have given him offside as well because it did touch him, whether his hand or not.
Why didn't Frederick start instead of Diop? Hey, Happy, you at home? And hello, Happy from Lawrence. So I'm sure I've caught up. Right, yes, I have. Right, okay. Let's go over to Matthias Klitsch. Is that how you say it?
Yep.
Okay, what are you saying for him?
Well, to say that he's had a bad season. He's had a bad season as Klitsch. This season he hasn't been right at all. He's been a yard off pace. He's been a yard off tackling, a yard off running, a yard off everything. I thought he was good. I thought he had a pretty good game today. We're just talking about that goalie. What should have, shouldn't have been given. He got into the right place, got it on target, so you can ask of him. I'm going to give him a solid 7 out of 10 today. Solid 7 out of 10, definitely. I thought
7 out of 10. Yeah, for Mateusz Klitsch, Hamish and Lanzini. Right. So 1 second, Kieran. We will go to. We'll go Vlasic, Kieran. And then we'll...
Non-existent. I thought non-existent. He played one cracking through ball though to Rice, put him through early on in the game, and that was about all he did. So Diop gave him that ball head all the time. The bloke weren't up his clacker yet. He had about 2 yards and miscontrolled it. The boys kept it off him, and they scored a goal. You know, I thought he was, he took another step backwards for me. He was poor. He tried. I'm not knocking his another one. He's putting the effort in, but he's not producing the goods. He was part of the problem. All the midfield were, mind you. So I just didn't see enough of him. I didn't see what he was doing. So 5.
I was just laughing at Richard's comment. I'll do it after Davies. Davey for Vlasic.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, obviously, what stands out is the mistake for the goal. I agree with a lot what Kieran said. He tried his heart out, bless him. Mediocre at best, wasn't he? I don't know. We thought after seeing him in Norwich and in the last few games, because of obviously Benrahma was away, that he had crossed that line, started to put together a few decent performances. Today wasn't one of them, but to be fair, the team performance was bad, so we have to sort of judge it within that concept. So, I gave him a 5, like Kieran, 5.
Okay, right. So Cyber said Klitsch between a 7 and an 8. So thank you for giving a Leeds rating. Harmony says Klitsch gets a 6 from her. TD5, another Leeds fan. Klitsch was pretty good. Good passes and worked hard. He got a 7. Boom. Cyber Leader gave Vlasic a 4. Richard said, this is what I was laughing at. Why did I not start instead of Vlasic? Lawrence gave Vlasic a 5.5. Is that what you gave him, Kieran? Oh no, you gave him a 5.
5, yeah. And I was being generous. I was being generous with the 5, to be honest.
Right, James Bond gave him a 5, and we got another special guest in the chat, and that is Budgie. How you doing? Thank you for joining as well. Bad day to go and watch West Ham, but rough with the smooth and all that. But yeah, thanks for joining, Budgie. And yeah, Budgie, you can either catch up or you can just start rating from here on in. Right, Danny Jackson gave Vlasic a 4. Hi Davey, hi Ernie from Budgie.
Hi Budgie.
And Budgie. 1 sec. Let's go to for sure. No, I'm going to save him. I'm going to save these two because I think... Right, I know here they've got him as a striker. I'm going to go to Dan James Stuart first.
I slayed him last week, and I don't think he had much. I mean, I know his effort's there and his running's there, and that's what it's all about. His speed, so it's going to be there. He had that chance in end at first half where he just kicked it straight at Fabianski. He was poor again, wasn't he? And I can't get away from it. I'm going to give him a 5. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. I just don't see where this £26 million is. I don't. A bit like you with Vlasic, I don't see where it is with Dan James. I don't see what all the hype we're about.
Yeah.
And I know Furpo before. I know Hermione before she puts the mark in. She were adamant she didn't want him at the club before we even bought him. She didn't want him. She was adamant, so she's always stuck to her guns as a Hermione on Furpo, definitely. On James, sorry, James. That's what I meant, James. Yeah,
so what did you give him? Did you say 5?
I give him a 5, and that's been generous. Yeah.
Sorry, do you know why? I was preoccupied because I knew. I'll tell you what happened. Yeah, I knew. Right, Budgie, you've missed 7, 8 West Ham, but you can catch up. We still got to do Bowen, Fornells, and Antonio. So basically, I knew Budgie would get to Stuart, but I was just about to message to say, "Oh, you forgot Stuart," but obviously he didn't. You know, he was just doing it in bits. So yeah, but Stuart, Budgie says hi, Stuart. Right, let me get back to here. Sorry. Right, where's this one? I saw it. Right. Cam says we're all together. Titch, hammer it in tears over Mr. Hammett. Right, Davey, Simon Leader. You're right. I want your opinion on this. You two. Simon says Davey looks like Ian Wright. No offense. I don't think there's any taken. And what are you three? What are you three saying? Does he resemble Ian Wright?
Wait, I was as good as
What's that, Kieran?
That's what we want to know.
What did Kieran say? Yeah.
He's an absolute ringer, Davey, for Ian Wright.
Yeah,
He might be a bit heavy as set. I'm guessing. He might be a bit
Wait, go easy.
Well, I was just looking at the face, not the body. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, now that you say it, yeah.
See, Stewie, I can say what I want. I'm 12,000 miles away.
Stuart's that 200.
Yeah, I mean, he probably running you to bite him if you said stuff now.
It's all good, guys. It's all good.
You look
Right, Dan James gets a 7 from Cyber. How are you, bud? Okay, right. Let me just try and get through this. As always, thanks for everybody that's tuned in, and thanks to everybody that's in this stream as well for giving up your time. Hi, Stuart. We've got that. TD5 says Dan James gets a 6. Harmony says Roadrunner James gets a 3. Trevor Davis, thank you for joining. Perhaps Elise should have played. Can't argue with that after Diop's performance. Normally I'd say that no, but no. Drunk at Dallas. So Budgie's drunk. Drowning in his sorrows. Right, so let's go to 1 minute, Stuart. Let's go Rafinha for you. And maybe the West Ham fans might have an opinion on him for today. So yeah, Rafinha.
Well, he would definitely hit today, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Sometimes he's hit and miss, but he would definitely hit today. I thought he was most, what's the word? Flamboyant. His player on pitch today. I thought he was flamboyant. There were a lot of good things coming from him. His free kick was beautiful. What it bar?
Yep.
That were a beautiful free kick. If it weren't for Harrison getting his hat trick, he would have got my man at match. So I've got to give him 8.5 out of 10. I've got to give him 8.5 out of 10. I would have given him more, but I can't. I'm saving that one for man at match.
Okay, right. So 8.5, yeah.
Yep, definitely.
TD5 gave Rafinha 7. Budgie says total rating for the team today 7. Leeds 9. So he's done an overall one. He's definitely been drinking if he's giving West Ham overall a 7.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I'm getting a fucking 7 from me, I'll tell you.
Budgie's a nice guy, and he's being nice to the team as an overall 7. Rafinha gets a 6 from Harmony. She's the opposite of Budgie. She's like, nah. The player that gets an 8, she gives him a 6. Sorry, wrong one. Rafinha 8. The other week 5. Sorry, Leeds fans, didn't do anything when he came on. I'm upset over the performance cam. Sad times. And Budgie says best away support of the season so far, because obviously Budgie was at the game, Hammer was at the game, Cam. So yeah, Leeds apparently had the best away support of the season so far. Right, so we will move on to. We go. Hold on a minute.
You've hit me twice.
Yeah, I skipped someone, didn't I? All right, no way. I thought so.
You cut me out twice. You cut me out. You know, normally I look at my
Yeah,
notes.
put the pressure on Stu. He's just trying to catch you out, mate.
Yeah, that's guest pleasure privilege. You get 2 in a row. Okay, sorry, look. Here we go. Right, Kieran. Pablo Fornals today.
Not bad. Yeah, weren't as effective as I thought he'd be. He's the boy I picked. He done all right, but I thought he was going to be better. I thought he took his goal really well. Really, he fooled Melier, didn't he? He gave the eyes to that corner as if he was going to bend in the corner.
Good
and
goal.
then pulled it back to the near post. Really took his goal well. He weren't terrible like some of the others, but I thought we'd get more out of him. I thought he was going to be more influential. Yeah, he was all right, mate. I'll give him a solid 6.
6 out of 10. Davey, you also picked Fornals, didn't you, as your player to watch?
Yeah, I chose Fornals as well in a preview. I agree with Kieran. He's done again. Saying this a lot, he's done okay today. You know, we've already stressed on that it wasn't a very good team performance. Fornals, yeah, I agree, took his goal really well at the time when we needed it. Didn't do much wrong, but you know, it was an average performance. To be fair, I was surprised he took him off. But yeah, I gave him a 6. Like Kieran, I'll stay with 6. 6 out of 10.
Yeah. I think he had a decent game today. And sometimes if everybody around you is playing bad and there's not a lot you can do, I would probably give him between a 6.5 and a 7 because he took his goal well, and I just think some of the players around him was that bad. But I'm not going to rate everybody. Right, let's go to the comments. Best away support. Right, here we go. James Bong says, I thought Rafinha looked the best player on the pitch today. He got an 8. Thank you for giving a Leeds rating. Our fans are always class. TD5. Man of the match for me, says Richard Wharton. 4-0-6. He done okay from Cyber, so he agrees with Kieran and Davey. Lawrence says, yeah, I was surprised a bit. 6.7 should not have been pulled off. 4-0 gets a 7 from James Bong. 7.5 from Danny Jackson for 4-0. 1 second. Budgie, oh no, he's done it, isn't he? Here he is. Here we go. Budgie says, oh, so he's, yeah, right. Me and Cans give Pablo a 6, so that's in agreement with Kieran and Davido, Ian Wright. We're going to get a nickname for you, Davey. Budgie, I'm going to message you later. Righty, yeah. I call you Righty. Right, so I've saved. No, we got to do another one because you've only got one player left, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah, because you went to him twice, Stitch.
All right, let's do another one. Right, so we will go to. Let me get him up. 1 minute. We will go to. Sorry. Boom. Let's go Jared Burton, Kieran, and the chat, and Davey obviously. Oh, righty. 1 minute. I'm just going to close this door.
This ain't going to be popular. I thought he was fucking shy. Last week, we want to give him all his plaudits. Last week, he was superb against Norwich, and he has been in a few games. And then maybe people calling him world class. Oh, he's going to play for England. He should be called up. And then he has a game like this. He was terrible. And I'm saying that because I was really watching him, and the amount of passes he gave away, was ridiculous. He lost the ball a lot. He put us under a lot of pressure. He was annoying me because I was watching him. You know, I was hoping he was going to crack on. I thought when he kept going behind 1-0, then 1-0, then 2, I thought, right, come on there, Jared, lift that team. And it was Rice trying to do that and not him. He weren't getting involved. I thought his goal was good, right? He gets an extra point for his goal. But that fucking chance he missed at the depth. Yeah. What he was doing, trying to chest that in, was he being a smart ass? He had plenty of time. If you watch the replay as that ball gets deflected over, he had loads of time to get his head on it and just head it in the net. And I think he was trying to be smart and clever because of all the hype and all the adulation he's had lately, and chested it and go, look at me. So fuck him for doing that, because it really pissed me off. Because I think anyone would have just headed that in, and it was a goal. So I'm going to give him a 4 and be really horrible on him.
Yep, and you know, praise when it's due and criticism when it's due. Davey, Jared Bowen.
Yeah, I agree with a lot. Again, with a lot of what Kieran's just said. I don't know what it is, Titch. I don't know, and Kieran and Stuart. I don't know if it's me who's seeing this or if you guys are seeing this as well. But Antonio's had a lot of plaudits on his success. Now Bowen is having it with his success, and I don't take it away from them, rightfully so. But what I'm seeing is like they're changing. They're almost chameleon. They're changing the characters on the pitch. The things that they're getting plaudits for, they stop doing, and they're holding onto the ball. You know, instead of making passes, they are trying to over dribble. And I'm thinking, is it me or am I seeing this? Is it because has it gone to their heads, you know, already?
Yeah.
All this plaudits gone to the head, and then they think, now I'm the man, let me show it. And I think today I was pissed. I mean, pissed when I've seen it constantly losing the ball, Bowen, losing the ball. I mean, he scored a header, yes, he scored a goal. He's still a threat for us, you know. And I agree with Kieran, what Kieran says at the end. When I look back at the chance, I thought at the time, why didn't he head it? And then, you know, they replay it. I thought, was he trying to be cocky to try and chest the ball in? Because it was harder to miss than to score. Yeah. And he managed to miss it. I mean, credit to Leeds, because I think they deserve to win the game. That's how bad we were. But, you know, we didn't play particularly well, but we still could have got a draw out of the game.
Exactly.
That would have been a major achievement, I thought, if we got a draw out of it. Considering they had a goal chalked off, what probably another day would have been given. But yeah, I mean, we'll get to Antonio next in a minute. But yeah, Bowen is another one that falls into that category, especially on today's performance.
All right, I'm going to get to the comment.
Sorry, did I say what I give him?
No. Yeah.
What did you rate Righty? What did you rate him at?
6.
That's his name, Righty.
Yeah, I gave him a 6.
Oh no, Kieran, you gave him a 4, innit? Yeah.
Yeah,
I gave Bowen a 6. He got a goal, and he's a hard worker for the team, isn't it? So.
And that 1 point might be all difference to you making 5th to 4th.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, that 1 point.
Yeah.
As I say, he has won us points in the last few games, no doubt about it. But he threw a point away there at the end, and I think it was about being cocky. Because I can't see any. If our deflection was really quick and it came at him, he had loads of time.
Exactly.
Time that header and
just
head it in.
nod it in. No neck muscles needed. Just nod it in.
Stranded, mate.
Yeah. Just nod it in.
Done that and hope for the best. But no, that fucking annoyed me. So yeah, that's why I've given him a 4, because I think he's taking a piss now. Maybe too much of this praise going to his head, and that really showed it.
Right, before we get on to the final 2 players, anybody that's not aware, I put this on the screen. You know, the way this mascot came about was very unique. I've always called everybody the Hammer Gang. Harry Geezer is Kieran's 2 nicknames for, 2 different reasons. And obviously, yeah, we made him the channel mascot. And if you say that that doesn't resemble him, then you're a liar. Right, let me let's get back to this. Harry Geezer in the house. Player ratings. Right, so clearly I've left the best till last for Leeds, and to score a hat-trick, first hat-trick of your career away from home in a side that's been struggling, all of that, and a player that Stuart last week he said he's rubbish. He's rubbish. Yeah, him and Dan James, they need to go. And then today I see him singing songs about him. So, flip-flopper, how would you rate your favourite player, Jack Harrison's performance
I
today?
always thought that boy were going to do well. I'm eating humble pie, I'll tell you that now. He got into right positions, didn't he? He scored the 3 goals. You can't not give him man at match after scoring his first career. You can't. Made an hat-trick. His first hat-trick, so I think it's you know what I mean. I'm eating humble pie, and Lee's made sure I know about it. I've got to give him 9 out of 10 because he got an hat-trick. Other than that, though, he tries to do too much dribbling and stuff. He tries to take too many players on. But he got his hat-trick, so I've got to say 9 out of 10, and it's hurting me to say it because I don't really think he was a 9 out of 10 player, but you've got to give him 9 out of 10 for scoring an hat-trick, haven't you?
Yep.
But
He was smart.
I still don't think he's as good as what, you know, I still think he's as poor as what I think he is.
Yeah.
He was smart enough to build his base that Soufal was leaving as well. I'll give him that.
Right. I forgot to address the comments after Bowen. Sorry, you lot. So let's just get back to that so we don't fall behind. Right. Best player on the pitch. Boom. Then okay. Sorry. I'm gonna message you later. Here we go. I think this is where we catch back up. I think Bowen shushing the Leeds fans at 1-1. Then Mr. City in the 94th minute. That comes from TD5. I think I've read the rest of them. Richard Walton, 4-0 has a success pass rate of less than 50%. Enough said, so he gets a 2. Okay, Dalek, no worries. 1 minute. Let me just... Bowen is laughing, what a fool. TD5 said he's foolish for doing that. Right, here we go. James Bond gave Bowen a 6. Happy Amaret gave Bowen a 6. Budgie gave Bowen 8 for Cam's and 7 for me. Cam's phone died. 1 second. So he's obviously splitting opinions here. Lawrence says, I agree with Kieran for a long time. First time in a long time, I think, maybe. But he gave him a 5.
Probably. Look at Lawrence something was a glitch. That's all right.
Bowen 5.5 to 6. Also subscribe to the people in the links. Oh, thank you, Dalek. You know what? Listen, I'm going to get through. I was going to say at the end of the show, I've put, certain channel links in the description, and Cyber, big up yourself for doing that. He's just gone to the comments and he subscribed to all of the channels, which thank you, Cyber, much appreciated. 1 sec. James Bond said Bowen had overrun the deflected pass, that's why he didn't head it. A scorpion kick might have worked better in hindsight. Princess, boom. Right, agree with Kieran for the first time in a long time, but a 6. Okay, yeah. 1 sec. That was TD5. If we're going of 2022's Premier League result, we are top of the league on goal difference. Specsavers, this is from Richard. Specsavers are never going to be a Bowen endorsement, so 5 for blindly scoring. TD5 says Harrison 10, better winger than Bowen, and he's laughing. Right, so that means we move on to, where is he? And then obviously Leeds subs was more sort of significant than ours. We move on to, where is he, man? Here he is. Right, Kieran. Mikel Antonio.
Fucking hell, man. I just don't know where to start with him. I just don't think I don't know. There was a couple of times where he held the ball nicely, spun and used it. But not, I'd say 8 out of 10 times he gave it away. Passed it out. I think that Strick had him in his pocket all night, to be honest. I thought he'd done a superb job on him. He was, for me, I'd be giving that Strick as one of the men of the match because he just stopped Antonio doing anything. You know what I mean? I think the best thing he did was that long throw-in. That's about it. I don't think he was good. I thought he was really ineffective. He was coming deep for the ball. He was miscontrolling it a lot of the times. No, it just weren't in the game for me. Didn't affect it whatsoever. I just thought Strick just had him too easy. I thought he should have been stronger against him, and he weren't. So I'm just going to give him a 5, mate. I didn't see anything of him that told me he had a good game.
So 5 out of 10 from Kieran. Righty, what are you saying for Antonio?
Well, where do I start? I've been banging my head about him for the last few games, and I think today he took it to a different level. I remember I was saying it'd be good if we can get another striker in because I feel like he needs competition, and his place is too, in my opinion, too guaranteed, and therefore, no matter how he plays, we still play him, which cannot be right. And today he was poor. Right? They were playing, he's a big, strong lad. We're playing balls into him, and he's getting beaten to the ball. He's getting pushed off the ball. He's falling over. It reminds me, if I could use this analogy, it reminds me of like, you know, when you first start like, I'll say secondary school. Well, they'll probably say year 7 now, right? When we first start secondary school, it's an age thing, right? When we first start secondary school, you go there, you think it's the first day, you know, it's a bit of anxiety and stuff. And like you see this, and then we go the week, a couple of weeks, there's a big kid there, and everybody's bullying him. You're thinking, look at the size of this guy. He's only got to open his mouth and people run away. You know, and Antonio sort of falls into that category. I'm thinking, look at the size of him. He's strong, he's quick. And in my opinion, you know, I made this a reference to Jared Bowen earlier. It's gone to his head, a lot of his success. I mean, I love him because, you know what I mean? He does a lot for West Ham. He's come through from grassroots, which I appreciate. You know, we've seen him, the journey. He's from South London, not far from us. I think he come from Tottenham Mitcham initially. I remember because my son, he used to drop my son back to Fulham when he was at Reading. Do you understand? So I've got a lot of time for this guy, but no, his performances have been poor. Poor. Today was really poor. I gave him a 4. I mean, to me, he was as bad as Dio. You know, and he's not offering us anything. Not in the last few games I've seen. He's not offering us anything.
Righty, what rhymes with poor?
Right, it's poor.
Yeah.
My toe is sore.
Yeah. 4.
4, yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. Right, Jack Harris, this is Cyber Leader. Jack Harrison, 9, 100%. Harmony gave Harrison a 7. This guy scored a hat-trick, you know. Richard says, sorry, I did click on it. Richard says Harrison is the Leeds Benny Hill. That's what he calls Ben Rama Benny Hill. I wanted Kieran to spit his tea out. Antonio gets a 5 from Cyber. 7. Antonio gets a 6 from James Bong. Lawrence, 6. Very clumsy and no clinical mood. It is sad when your striker is throwing in a ball. Yeah. Yeah. And he could have got a red card as well, that tackle. It was, you know, bad touch. Then he's gone flying in and he's lucky he didn't get a red card like he did against Southampton, I think, last season.
I think because he didn't lead with his studs. If he had led with his studs, he would have gone.
Right, we can ask Stuart, any news on Bamford or Roberts?
Well, apparently Bamford's going to be available for the Newcastle game. The only reason why he didn't get on plane, like Robert Singleton said yesterday, was his wife went into labour. So, I don't know what she's had, but it's another junior Bamford.
Yeah,
We've got. As long as he plays for Leeds, I ain't bothered.
Yeah.
I ain't bothered if it's the Leeds men or Leeds ladies. I don't care. As long as it's an healthy baby, I don't care. But as for Roberts, he's still out. I think he's still. You know, he's not having best of luck in Roberts, is he? He's not having best of luck with injuries. Probably no more at next press conference.
Yeah.
But Bamford's definitely back for the Newcastle game. He wouldn't know what to do with his health. It would still with him, you know, having a baby. So he were at the birth of his baby.
Well, you didn't need him today, obviously, any of those players. Let's give Mike Dean a 10 for giving lots of cards out. Bamford might be back for Newcastle. Roberts will still be out there, I think. But we're going to get onto the subs. Let me just get through the comments. Thank you, Lawrence. Lawrence says, smash that like button, mates. Yeah, please, you lot. Even if it's for the fact that, you know, everybody's here on it's quite late, and I'm not talking about myself. Everybody else is, you know, coming on here to give their thoughts and opinions. Right. The service to Antonio was shocking. So 10 for Endeavour and being a nuisance from Richard. Lawrence is laughing. One sec. Budgie says, Cam said 2 for Antonio. I'll give him a 6. And Lawrence says, screw Dean. Right, so let's get on to the subs, because Leeds subs obviously played a lot of minutes, the first 2 anyway. Right, so Lewis Bate came on for Adam Forshaw on 22 minutes. So what would you rate him, please, Stuart?
He's not ready. He's clearly not ready. The sub got subbed, and you know what I mean. I know his head went down and everything coming off, But if Bielsa sees that it's not working, he's not frightened to sub a sub. He did it to Pascal Strike when they played him in midfield. He took him straight off before. So he does do it. He has been known to do it. And it shows the sign of a manager who sees something and is willing to change it straight away. But another year in under 23s to develop, I think, and I think we'll have a good player. So I'm going to give him a 5. I think he had a better game than he did last week.
Okay. All right. We go to West Ham. Davey, Kieran. Right. No. Let's just quickly get through. Just right. Harmony says, rumor at game was that he became a dad to a baby boy. Long skateboard back home to Leeds from London with a bag of nappies and flowers. Boom. Cyber gave Bate a 6. Harmony gave Bate a 6, and we can move on to West Ham's first sub. Hold on. He came on I think 61. I'll confirm that in a minute. Which was Kieran Arthur Masuaku. He played just over 30 minutes, including injury time.
Really? As much as that? Yeah, I think that weren't much of a. I didn't think he did much. I think the first thing he did was pass the ball straight out. I was hoping it might change something, didn't it? And it didn't. He was trying, as usual. Good technically, isn't he, on his feet? But no, just nothing I saw from him was going to make much of a difference. But he did try. To be honest, he did try. But for what he did, I'd just give him a 5.
5 out of 10 for Arthur. Davey, Arthur Masuaku.
Yeah, I think he was no better or worse than, with the exception of Antonio and Diop, than what we saw on the pitch. Even when I just think that with the squad we got, it's going to be difficult for him. At best, I've seen him, even when he's played decent, mediocre. So I gave him a 5 for his performance today. I don't think he's going to be a long-term West Ham player, in my opinion. I don't think he's good enough.
All right. Right. Budgie, this is for you, Stuart. Budgie says, Stuart, remember your lead telling us there was no chance of a Leeds win?
I didn't think we had a chance neither. I didn't think we had a chance neither. I said 3. I think I said at best a 1-1 draw or something. I said it was something like that. You know what I mean? I didn't think we'd have a chance. I thought we'd lose.
Sorry, I'm just getting your next sub up. 1 second. Right, Budgie's laughing. Cyber says Masuaku 5 or a 6. Yeah, in between 5 and 6. 4 for Masuaku. He scared me, says Lawrence. And Budgie says Arthur 5 for me. Cam says who? So you're trying to say he was non-existent. Right. So Leeds' next sub came on 23 minutes, so just a minute later, and his name is Fuher Haji. I don't know if that's how.
Hermione knows that. It's like HG or something, isn't it? It's LG or something. I thought he did well when he come on. I thought when we made them 2 subs, I thought we were in trouble. I did. You know what I mean? I thought losing 2 first teamers and then bringing on 2 under 23 players, I thought we were in trouble. But I thought he did well, Haji. I'm going to say 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Harmony, you can give your rating for Haji. Right. Okay, wait. We'll go on to our West Ham player. TD5 says Haji, brilliant again. He gets an 8. Oh, okay. Harmony says Yelda gets a 9. So it's Yelda gets a 9. And we will move on to came on 69 minutes for Fornells. So Kieran, he played about 25, including the stoppage time. So Andrei Yarmolenko.
Was he on? Was he? Oh mate, your head just goes down when he comes on. Then you go, oh, "Is this it? Is this what we got?" Like you go, "Oh, it's a shame because I like Yarman, mate. I think he's a nice geezer, but he done his usual. He got a shot on target. He got a booking, I think.
Goal disallowed.
Yeah, but it was always going to be disallowed, wasn't it?
Yeah, that wasn't his fault.
But yeah, Bowen was offside first, and then he got his nod there. Yeah, he done all right for what he did, man. But you know, you just don't think he's the answer. But let's put it this way: I thought he probably put more into it in that little cameo than Antonio did all game. So I'd give him a 5.5. I'll give him a 5.5, mate, because he was trying.
Okay. Davey, Yarmolenko. I mean, righty, sorry.
I gave a 6. I mean, I thought the obvious when he was coming on, I thought they'd take Antonio off. I don't understand why Moyes plays him as one of the front three wide players, knowing that in Bowen, Fornells, Benrahma when he's available, and even Lanzini if he plays wide, these players will track back. That's Yarmolenko. He's not going to do that. I mean, it's almost, you could see he's forcibly running back, but it's not his game. You might as well play him, put the position between him and Antonio and play him as the number 9. You know? And today, Antonio was so poor that I can't believe he left him on the pitch. I know why. Exactly. Go for it, but I mean, Yarmolenko, just take him off, bring on Yarmolenko, leave Fornells on the pitch because he can set up or score. And maybe we would have got an equaliser. I mean, I doubt it, but you know, you never know. But I gave him a 6. I thought he did all right when he came on, but I don't know why he plays him as a back player. For West Ham, he's not going to do that.
No, you're right, David. They should have dragged Antonio on that performance.
You know,
but he could have been dragged earlier.
Yeah, Kieran, I agree. And at the moment, I think he's getting a raw deal, man. When you think about the player he is, he's getting a bit of a raw deal at West Ham. I think so, anyway.
Right, I can tell you why Moyes didn't put him central, and it goes back to Moyes' philosophy for a striker. You understand? So Moyes, in his head, feels if we take off Antonio and put Yarma on, Yarma's not going to be running the wings. And do you understand? So he's made a rod for his own back, and that is why Antonio stays on, because there's no other striker that can play the striker role to Moyes' how he wants it. Do you understand? So therefore now he's bringing on Yarmolenko instead of taking off Antonio. Yarmolenko's more clinical. You know, he's much more of a natural striker, and you know, he is actually a goal scorer. So it makes sense to put him central. But because of Moyes' philosophy, that's why Antonio keeps playing.
Fair enough. But you know,
which is
everything else, you've got to have a plan B.
Plan B, exactly. Exactly.
I don't understand it though. I don't get it. Why did you get rid of Hilaire and keep Yarmolenko there? If you were going to get rid of Hilaire because he does the same role as what Yarmolenko does, doesn't he, Hilaire? Is that sort of striker, isn't it?
Yeah, he needs to be in and around the 18-yard box is where they do their danger.
I don't understand why you didn't get rid of them both if you were going to get rid of one.
Exactly. No, I don't think Yarma had any takers, I would imagine or guess.
Yeah.
Right, so 65 minutes, Leeds made a sub, and in that process they subbed a sub. So Rodrigo came on 65 minutes, so he played about half hour, and it was his first game back for a long time.
He should have stayed out a long bloody time and all. He was awful. He was greedy. He were absolutely. He were awful. I'm not a Rodrigo fan anyway. Never have been. Apparently Arsenal are after him. They can have him. I'm 4 out of 10. He would have was playing.
4 out of 10.
I thought he was too greedy. He's not a team player. He's not a team player. There's no Ayling team.
Yeah. Let me remove this. Right, so Cyber says Yarma 6. James Bong says King Arthur and Yarmolenko are 5. Yelda gets an 8 from Cyber. Lawrence gave 3 for Yarmolenko. Missed a couple shots as normal. 1 second. Lawrence says Davey, that Moyes scoring. I don't get Davey, that Moyes scoring. Does anybody get that? If not, clarify. Oh,
scoring points, you mean?
Yeah, is your ratings on Moyes scoring?
Oh, because I made reference. He gets a raw deal, Yarmolenko.
No, David, that Moyes scoring. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Yeah, can you clarify though?
Yarma 7 from me and Cams. Happy Emirates won't even give him directions to the tube station. 7 my butt. Oh, that is what? Who gave Yama a 7? Oh, maybe he's talking about the. Oh, he's talking to Budgie. Sorry. Lawrence says exactly Titch. I think that's for the predicament that Moyes is created and not having a plan B. Rodrigo 5, pretty poor from TD5. Rodrigo gets a 6 from Harmony, and Bate should have stayed on. He was very good from TD5. Okay, right. So on to the last sub, and I don't know how you are going to rate this player. 1 second. I think I've got. I wouldn't even bother. Nah, there's no point, is there?
It's desperate. The only thing I'd say, to me, throwing him on for a couple of minutes is just pointless.
Yeah,
absolutely pointless, mate. You know what I mean? It would make more sense to bring Yama on earlier and get Antonio off, right? Because he was doing nothing, absolutely nothing. But to bring this young lad on, for what? I mean, I didn't.
87th minute. He had about 7 minutes.
I'm not sure if he touched the ball. You know what I mean? That's just a Hail Mary pass, that. Just, I hope he might get onto something. Points.
Nothing. Davey, any points scoring him?
No, I agree. I'll give him an average score, which is like 5/6, 5.5. He didn't do anything wrong. It's a really late substitution. It's one of them that it's almost like if you want to make somebody make the debut, you give them a few minutes. Yeah, it's a pointless sub, really, isn't it? So
from a man that doesn't like making subs, so yeah. Definitely pointless. So yeah, let's wrap that up. Before everybody on here gets to say their final words, I will just once again, let me just put this up. Kieran's son, Junior, has he's a music artist. He does the drill, the rap, the grime, different genres. Every time he goes to a video shoot or a photo shot or the studio, he gets whoever's around him to do the crossed arms, and he's trying to put West Ham on the map over in Australia. But yeah, his music, he's a very versatile music artist, and his channel link is in the description. So please go and show support to Junior's son. No, for Kieran's son, Junior. Sorry. But like I said, the link is in the description. And Tuesdays, starting from this Tuesday, 11:30 p.m. UK time, we have Born in the USA featuring Lawrence and Wally. And the basic premise of that show is, I'll catch up with these two individually. And we'll speak about West Ham, but in between that, I'll ask them some questions in relation to United States of America. So, it's just something different again. But like I said, it's an opportunity to get these guys on the channel, and that's definitely our pleasure to get them on Timers Fans United. Right, so we will leave Stuart till last. How you doing? Yeah, there he is. Sorry, I didn't know. How you doing?
Yeah, good, Titch. How you doing?
I'm good, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate it.
And if you can, just resend those tunes, because we transfer it, just wouldn't let me download them. So if you can email them.
Yeah.
Even if it's individually. So yeah, but yeah, I'd appreciate if you could somehow get them to me.
Yeah, sweet as. Also, by the way, tomorrow Stress gets released. I've got to go meet my manager right now.
So is that on your channel or?
Yeah, I think it's going to be on YouTube, Spotify, like all platforms and that. So,
okay.
I guess tomorrow.
Right.
I think.
So you lot, make sure you subscribe and check out Kieran Jr. please, and support what he's doing. He's putting any money he gets, he's going studio and paying producers and all that. So please check him out. The link is in the description. Come on your hands.
Good luck.
Right, Kieran. No, we'll go with Davey first. So, Davey, your final thoughts, and then Kieran, and then Stuart and Lee. How you doing, Lee, by the way?
Final thoughts. I listened to Kieran earlier on and saying, like, if we had come on straight after the game, there would have been a lot of beep, beep, beep all the way through the video, especially when we're speaking about the players and West Ham's performance, because I was really cheesed off, and that's putting it nicely. After the performance, and you can lose games, You know, it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. It's football. You either win, lose, or draw. But that performance was really poor, and too many poor performances, which led me to believe that maybe you should have refreshed the team a little bit. But having said that, like I've said previously, there's always another game, you know. So we look forward to the next one, and that's the way I look at it now. We look forward to the next one. If we put it right, get 3 points, then although we won't be happy about this performance, we can put that to bed and say, well, let's move on. So yeah, come on, you Irons, let's put it right, mate. Let's put it right. But long term, we definitely need some signings. Definitely.
Yeah. Before Kieran says his piece, TD5 said hi to you, Lee, and yeah, thank you for.
How you doing, Lee?
Joining.
Hello, young Lee.
Do you know?
Actually, no. You know what? Oh no. Yeah, we can hear from Lee as well in a minute. Let me just love Perkins, but made zero difference. Cams, boom. Awesome artisan from Lawrence. And then hello Lee. Right, so Kieran, it's your turn, isn't it? Sorry. Yeah, Kieran, final thoughts, please.
Yeah, mate, it's a real bad day at the office, isn't it? And just so many people that were bad at the same time. We keep doing this. When we've done this one against Southampton and Brentford, it's always like you said before, Titch, it's a poor performance. But I'm not, and we could have, ridiculously enough, Bowen should have made it 3-3 at the end. No, he should have done. But that would have been a travesty, I think, and it would have papered over the cracks. Because Leeds deserved to win this, hands down. Deserved to win it. And even, the goal, I think, was disallowed. It was really unfortunate that it was disallowed for them to make it 4-2. And then Raphinha, he hits the post as well with that cracking free kick. Like, they deserved to win it, hands down. We didn't. We were poor all over the park. There isn't. You look at that bench and that's as soon as I saw the bench when we were missing Sochat, I went, wow, who are we going to bring on to make a difference here, if we're struggling? And lo and behold, we are struggling and we didn't have anyone really. We're hoping for Yarmolenko might do a bit of Ukrainian magic. Masuaku made no difference. Then you bring on a young boy at the end and done nothing, It's so apparent that we're lacking depth. And that's why I never get carried away with this challenging for four. I think we're challenging for top 6 to stay in it. All that success lately has become against teams at the bottom of the table. Norwich, Watford, Leeds, who are struggling and rife with injuries in the cup. So I don't get carried away with that. I want us to finish top 6. And forget if 4 happens, if we fucking invest and 4 happens, great. Then we might be able to challenge for top 4. But performances like today shows you that we're not a top 4 team.
Yeah.
We're not a top 4 team. And for us to be a top 4 team, we have to buy players, invest, and have a bench that can come on and do a job here. And today we didn't have that. And you can't, if we're playing this many games and he keeps playing the same team week in, week, of course it's fatigue. It was Bowen just tired today. He had a terrible day, but was that because he was tired, or was it because he's believing his own hype? I don't know. But Antonio, piss poor. Is he too comfortable there because he hasn't got a striker chasing him? Yeah, I think so, and it's showing. And to start with Lanzini and Rice, my biggest dread with this game. As soon as I saw that team sheet, I predicted win 2-0. I knew, forget that. They're scoring here. I knew they'd overrun us in the midfield, and it happened. I didn't think they'd score 3. But then when you got Dawson and Diop, who aren't a good pairing, and Diop was a nightmare, he was terrible, then, it's just a disaster waiting to happen.
Yep.
But it's gone now. So the only trouble, I would have liked a result going into the Man United game, just to keep the momentum. Now that makes that a tougher game, because we can't play that against Man United. As crap as they are, they'll tear you apart with their pace. Absolutely tear you apart. So we'll have to see with that one.
Thanks for that. And last, definitely not least, and you've got every right to be very, very satisfied. So yeah, final thoughts from Stuart and Lee, obviously from the disabled team.
Right. Well, I'll talk a bit about West Ham, and you can finish off with Leeds, Lee. But I were a bit surprised. I'll tell you another thing. What I was shocked at with West Ham as well. You know, Man United only drew yesterday. They could only manage a draw yesterday after being 2-0 up against Aston Villa. So they dropped 2 points. So I thought that would have been the incentive West Ham needed to say, right, you've got a really good chance now. You know, if we are going to go for top 4, this is our chance. Man United have dropped points yet again. This is our chance of actually, you know, going forward. And this is why I was so surprised by how well Leeds played, or how poorly West Ham played. I can't make up my mind which one it is. I think it's more how well Leeds played and how poor West Ham was.
Mm.
But I'm shocked. Like, you know, if for West Ham to get forward, you need to invest in this January transfer window. I know it's the hardest window. January always tends to be an hard window to do business. But if you're wanting to get top 4, you need to, and you need to do it fast.
Yep. Lee, final thoughts
about Leeds?
Good one for Leeds.
Good win for Leeds. Yep.
Absolutely.
West Ham needs to serve. I mean, West Ham needs
some more players.
Yeah.
To challenge top 4. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, Lee. I agree, and I'm not going to gloat because, you know what I mean, I don't do that sort of thing. But I'm just glad that we're 3 points further away from a relegation. That's all I'm glad about. And hopefully you beat Man United next week.
Yeah, it's a great win for you, Stewie, and Nate. It really was. You deserved them all 3 points. And like I say, if we're going to lose someone, I'm glad it's you lot. So at least we're going to keep you away from, the big fight down there. So if you can get away from that now, the better. So
exactly.
I hope you keep going. I hope you keep going.
Right, so everybody that tuned in, everybody that took part in the comments, everybody that obviously took part of the actual stream, thanks as always, much appreciated. And all our shows is scheduled well ahead of time, so if you don't get the notifications, just check in on the page and you'll see like what's upcoming. Guess Who on Tuesday 12 p.m. Born in the USA Tuesday 11:30 p.m. and the first one of the two on there will be Lawrence, and then Wednesday we have the initial thoughts 12 o'clock. So yeah, everything is run on a schedule and well in advance. So yeah, if you just check in, you'll know sort of when we're going live and what we're doing. But yeah, we shall. There's probably a couple more comments and then. Right, Harmony says, great game, lovely atmosphere, amazing result. Oh, better result. Night in East for some lovely guys. Entertainment value 9 out of 10. Thank you, Harmony, and thank you, disabled team, all class. That's from Lawrence. Thank you, Lawrence. So yeah, you lot, anybody want to say goodbye or whatever, we will play the outro video and see you next time. So yeah, see you later, everybody. Where is it? Here.
West Ham Dutchman, you don't want to see the gang vex man pull up in 2 litre dingers and press that.